Hey guys! In this video, we are going to create a ChatGPT application using ChatGPT API. So without wasting much time, let's start. Open Android Studio. Click on New Project. Select Empty Activity. Give your project a name according to you and then click on Finish button. Oops! We have a Gradle error here. Let's fix it quickly. Now the error has been resolved. Let's add the logo image first. For that we are going to use Final Resizer tool. The purpose of a Final Resizer tool is to ensure that images are correctly sized and optimized for their intended use. I have created a separate video on Final Resizer which will add on cards. So after generating images, you have to copy-paste those folder in res folder. We will also add some custom fonts. I will provide these fonts link in description. You have to simply copy-paste the fonts folder in the res folder. Let's add some colors, which we might require. You will also get this file in description. Now let's make some changes in themes. We will remove the action bar first and some not required colors. Now we are going to create a splash screen for our app. For that, create class file and name it splash screen. Also create a drawable file inside drawable and name it as background_splash screen. Change the selector tag with layer list tag and then inside layer list tag create item tags. Inside first items tag we will set background color. And in the second item tag we will set our logo image. Let's get back to the splash screen class file. Extend the class with app_compat activity. Inside splash screen class create a onCreate method. Inside onCreate method we are going to create a handler which will help the splash screen to navigate to main activity after 3 seconds. Note: 3000 means 3 seconds. 1 second equals to 1000. Let's create a style or a theme for the splash screen activity. For that, open themes file. Let's add the splash screen class file as an activity in manifest file and we have to make it as a launcher activity. Also we have to set the theme or the style, which we created on the splash screen activity. Before testing the splash screen there is a small update in styles file. We have to update the status bar color. Now let's test the splash screen. And you can see it's working fine. Now let's create an activity where user can choose either to log in or to register. Before designing the activity we will add some necessary strings. Strings and UI files will be provided to you in description. Because we are not going to waste our time in designing the app. If you want to know how these UI designs were created, do let me know in the comments, so that I can create a separate video for it. Now let's give functionality to the activity. For that, open login or signup class file. Declare the variables for both the buttons. Then initialize the variables for both the buttons. Before setting a click listener, create login and sign up activity. Now set an on-click listener on both the button. Let's add UI design to login and sign up activity too. Also, we are going to create a forgot password activity. Copy-paste the UI from the provided files. We are missing some drawable icon in forgot password page. So let's quickly add them. We are going to connect our app to Firebase to give our app login and sign up functionality. For that, open the browser and search firebase.google.com. Then click on Go to Console. Enter your project name. Accept terms and conditions and hit on Continue button. Accept terms and conditions and hit on Continue button. Since we are creating an Android project, click on the Android icon. Enter the package name of the project, which you can get in any class file. Then enter the app name, and click on Register. Then click on Download Google Services file. Copy the file and paste it inside the app folder of your project directory. Copy the Firebase dependencies in the Gradle files. Here we have successfully connected our app with Firebase. In Firebase, we are going to use authentication and Firebase Firestore. So let's enable it. Let's start coding the signup activity first. Open signup class file. Then declare the variables. Add Firebase authentication and Firebase Firestore dependencies. Now we are going to initialize the variables. We are creating a method for validation. Set an on-click listener on the sign up button. Here we are storing the edit text data inside string variables. After storing the edit text data inside string variables, we are going to check that if all the fields are filled and email pattern is correct, then we will run the signup method. Inside this validate method, we will perform some checks like, all the fields are filled or not and email pattern is correct or not. Now let's code the signup method, where we will first set the visibility of the progress bar. Then we will call the create user with email and password method of the Firebase auth instance. And we are going to handle it using on success listener and on failure listener. If the signup is successful, then we will store the user information in Firestore. If the signup fails, we are going to show an error message to the user. To store the user detail in Firestore, we have to first create a hash map. Using Firebase Firestore instance, we are going to store the data. And we are going to handle it using on success listener and on failure listener. If the data is stored successfully, then we will redirect user to the next activity. If the signup fails, we are going to show an error message to the user. We forgot to initialize the Firebase authentication and Firebase Firestore variables. So let's do it. Also, we have to set an on-click listener on the sign-in text, so we can redirect user to login activity. Let's move to the login activity, declare the required variables. Now we are going to initialize the variables. Set an on-click listener on txt signup, so that we can redirect user to signup activity. Set an on-click listener on txt forgot password, so that we can redirect user to signup activity. Set an on-click listener on btn sign in, so that we can sign in user. If user successfully gets signed in, then we will redirect user to the main activity. Now let's code the forgot password activity. For that, open forgot password class file, declare the variables. Initialize the variables. I have covered these modules individually in my previous videos, you may refer them. Now we have to update the splash screen activity. Here we will check whether the user has logged in or not. If user has been already logged in, then we will redirect the user to main activity, or else we will redirect user to login or sign up activity. Now there are some bugs in the app, so we are going to fix them before moving forward. We have 3 bugs. First bug is that while validating the email pattern, I have forgot to add an exclamation, or you can say a not sign. Second bug is that I have added finish function where it is not required. Third bug is that the text fields are not properly designed. So therefore we need to add a custom theme, so let's do it. Now let's design the main activity. I have provided the UI design for it in description. You can simply copy, paste it. There's some drawable files missing, so let's quickly add them. Then create a layout file and name it chat item. I have provided UI design for it too. Then create a class file and name it message. Inside that we will declare two public static variables, that is sent by me and sent by bot, to know on whom the current pointer is or from whom we are getting the message. Create two more string type variables, that is message and send by. Create their constructor and getter and setter. Declare and initialize the variables. Set an on-click listener on the send button, and inside that create string variable to store question entered by the user. We forgot to initialize the message list. Firstly, message list will be empty. Once the user sends the message, it will be added in the message list. So we have created the message model class. Let's now create message adapter. Inside message adapter class, create a myViewHolder class and inherit it with recyclerView.viewHolder. You might get an error there. You can simply right-click on the error and select Create Constructor Matching Super. After that you have to declare and initialize the variables of the chat item layout. Then inherit the message adapter class with recycleView.adapter, where we are going to pass the generic type of myViewHolder. Then simply hover on the error and click on implement methods. It will implement 3 methods. Initialize the message list and create a constructor. Message list.size will return the size of the message list. Inside on create view holder method, we will set the chat view layout. Inside on bind view holder method, we are going to check whether the message is forwarded by me or by the bot. To get the items, we are going to create a message object. Then we are going to check that whether message has been sent by bot or me. If the message has been sent by me, then we will hide the left chat view, and we will make the right side chat view visible, and set the message in the right side text view. And if the message has been sent by bot, then we will hide the right chat view, and we will make the left side chat view visible, and set the message in the left side text view. We are done coding the adapter. Now let's go to the main activity. Inside main activity, we are going to create the object of the message adapter. After that we are going to set up the recycler view. Firstly, we will send the chat list to the adapter. Then we will set the adapter to the recycler view. Then we will create a linear layout manager to control chat view to move from bottom to top. Then set the linear layout manager to the recycler view. Outside on create method, create a new method and name it add to chat, which has two string type parameter, that is message and sent by. We will set this methods to run on UI thread. Inside it we will add the message. After that we will notify the adapter. Also we will inform the adapter to scroll to the last position. Now go to BT and send on click listener. Inside that add the add to chat method. After adding the message by the user, we also have to empty it. Also set the visibility of the welcome text to gone. To get the message from the bot, we need to implement the ChatGPT API. For that, open the browser and type ChatGPT. Open the first link and then click on Developers. Then select API reference. Then click on Sign Up. If you are a new user, then quickly sign up by entering your details. Then click on API reference. Click on the chat option and then we are going to use the following URL to get the response. We are going to use OKHTTP library to manage the response. To add the dependency, visit the GitHub page of OKHTTP. And copy, paste the dependency in the project Gradle file. After syncing the Gradle file, close it and go to the main activity class file again, where you have to create a method. Name it call API, taking question as a parameter. Here we are going to create a JSON object. Then copy-paste media type JSON code snippet from the OKHTTP. Copy, paste the URL from the chat option. Here you have to store the API key. To get API key, you have to go to Profile, then click on View API Keys. Then copy, paste the API key, but before that write bearer. Inside on failure method, we will store the failure message. For that we are going to create an add response method. Here we are going to check whether we have got the response or not. If not, then we will show fail to load response error message. Call API method in btn send method. Now let's just quickly add a logout button. We are getting an error, but logically there is no error, so we will try rebuilding the project, which will fix the error hopefully. Now let's set an icon to our app. I have created a dedicated video for this. Now open manifest file to give internet access to the app. Also there are some bugs which we are going to fix. We are done coding, let's test our app. And as you can see, it's working fine.